Bishop D3 of Praggnanandhaa and Magnus Carlsen in Norway Chess 2024 round Armageddon 8. Hello my fellow chessers. I'm gonna show to you, my fellow chessers, the chess game between Magnus Carlsen and Praggnanandhaa in Norway Chess 2024, round number 8. So let's begin on d4, knight f6, bishop f4, this is London system, d5, e3, bishop f5, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop d6 challenging the dark square, bishop of white, bishop takes d6, queen takes d6, queen b3, attacking the pawn on b7. So b6, knight f3, castles kingside, bishop e2, d takes c4, bishop, queen takes c4, a6, preferring for b5, castles kingside, knight b d7, rook f d1, b5, queen b3, c5, d takes c5, queen takes c5, knight g4, attacking the bishop, bishop g6, bishop f3, attacking the rook on a8, rook a7, mistake of Praggnanandhaa. The best continuation on this position is bishop h5, attacking the bishop on rook, bishop on f3, at the same time attacking of rook on d1. If we take the rook on a8, we have rook, bishop takes d1, at the same time attacking the queen on b3. Okay, so let's continue the real game. Rook a7, rook ac1, bishop g5, knight c6, bad move or mistake of Magnus Carlsen. The best continuation on this position is queen a3. Queen a3, preferring to taking the pawn on b5. So let's continue the game, the real game. Knight c6, knight e5, good move of Praggnanandhaa, attacking the bishop on f3, at the same time attacking on knight on c6. So let's continue the game. Knight takes e5, queen takes e5, a4, b takes a4, queen b6, attacking the rook on a7, queen b8, knight takes a4, h6, bishop e2, attacking the pawn on a6, knight g5, attacking the queen on b6, queen d4, a5, knight c5, queen b6, bishop f3, rook b8, attacking the pawn on b2, because we have this rook on b8 and queen on b6. Bishop takes g5, e takes g5, b3, rook c7, knight e6, brilliant move of Magnus Carlsen. Why? Because queen takes g4. Why Praggnanandhaa didn't take the knight on f6, on e6? If you take example f takes e6, we have queen takes b6, rook takes b6, and we have rook takes c7. As you can see, the rook is one rook up of Magnus Carlsen. An example, what if queen takes e6. We have rook takes c7, my fellow chessers. What if rook takes c1? We have queen takes g7, checkmate. Okay, so let's continue the real game. Queen takes d4, and then knight takes d4, rook c8, rook bc8, rook a1, attacking the pawn on a5, bishop c2, mistake of Praggnanandhaa. The best continuation on this position is rook a8 to defend the a5 pawn. So let's continue the real game. Bishop c2, rook c1, mistake of Magnus Carlsen. The best continuation on this position is rook f1. What? Rook f1 passive. Oh. So let's continue the game. Rook c1, rook dc1, bishop d3, mistake of Praggnanandhaa. The best continuation on this position is rook c5. Defend this, the pawn on a5. So let's continue the game. Bishop d3, rook takes c7, mistake of Magnus Carlsen. The best continuation on this position is rook e1. Passive again. So let's continue the game. Passive. So rook takes c7, rook takes c7, f3, rook c5, king f2, h5, king e1, g6, king d2, bishop f5, rook c1, rook takes c1, king takes c1, bishop d7, king b2, king f8, king c3, king e7. As you can see, the evaluation bar is equal, my fellow chessers. Knight e2, king d6, king d4, a4, b takes a4, bishop takes a4, knight f4, attacking the pawn on d5, bishop g5, h4, bishop a2, good move, g4, h takes g4, f takes g4, king e7, knight takes d5, knight, king e6, good move, e4, bishop b3, knight f4, check, as you can see, my fellow chessers. King f6, mistake of Praggnanandhaa. The best continuation on this position is king d6. So let's continue the real game. King f6, g5, mistake of Magnus Carlsen. The best continuation on this position is knight g5, check, my fellow chessers. So let's continue the real game. G5, king g7, king e5, bishop c2, knight g5, bishop d3 of Praggnanandhaa, mistake. The best continuation on this position is king f8. What? King f8 only is the best continuation on this position. So let's continue the real game. Bishop d3, knight f6, good move of Magnus Carlsen. As you can see, the evaluation bar. King f8, king d6, bishop b1, king d7, bishop c2, king d8, bishop b1, knight g7, king g7, e5, bishop f5, king e7, bishop b1, knight c5, bishop c2, knight b7, bishop b7, b1, knight d6, bishop a2, knight takes f7, bishop takes f7, e6, bishop g8. Why Praggnanandhaa didn't take this? If it take example bishop takes e6, king e6, and king f8. We have king f6, as you can see, my fellow chessers. King g8, king takes g6, as you can see that two pass pawn of Magnus Carlsen, the g5 and h4, one pass pawn. So let's continue the game. Bishop g8, king d7, Praggnanandhaa resigned the game. Why? If you continue the game, example king f8, e7, king g7. If you put the king on f7, we have promote e8 queen. So if we take the pawn on e6, king e6, and we have king f8, king g6. Example king h7. We have king f7, my fellow chessers, and then the only move is king h8, king g6, king takes g6. As you can see, the pawn on g5 and h4.